Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building, just chopping it up about, expectations for the Detroit Pistons job. May it be the general manager, VP position, and also the head coaching position. And ideally, you want to hire that front office guy first and get your front office staff in place first. I think that's critical. You got a lot of good head coaching candidates. We're going to talk about one, a little bit later. Mark Jackson. A lot of people wonder will he be a fit here. But let's talk about the expectations. Yeah, about $75 million tied up between Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond, and Reggie Jackson. So that's something to look at. I believe Jackson's contract expires in 2020. I think Blake Griffin's contract expires in 2022, and Drummond like 2021. So first off, we'll talk about the personnel move that I would make, me personally. And everybody might not agree. But as far as what we looking for in the GM, I heard people say, like out on ESPN, I can't remember his name, said we need experience. I just need somebody that's innovative. I would take somebody that's experienced, but I want somebody that's innovative, young, and got some new ideas and kind of can be an innovator and kind of find new ways to acquire talent as far as wooing free agents here, changing a culture. But for one thing, a guy has to come in with a plan in place for what he wants to do, and he has to hit on draft picks and being able to evaluate talent. Maybe Joe Dumars or Stan Van Gundy, missing on Melo, missing on Giannis Antetokounmpo, missing on Devin Booker, missing on Kyle Kuzma and Devon Mitchell. We can't have that no more. We have to have somebody that can identify talent. And I think that's second, behind what they're gonna do with the roster as constructed. The Pistons have no free agent money and may not even have a draft pick this year if it don't hit the top pick. So that's and we know the Pistons never get the top pick. Cleveland got it like 3 years in a row, and it's like the NBA shows the Detroit Pistons no love. And that's crazy though, man. We one of those original, almost one of the original teams out there. Maybe we was in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now we the Pistons, and as a Detroit, team, we don't get the respect we deserve, and for what we bring to the table into these these different leagues. And I will be the first to say that. But like I said, he got to have a plan in place for the personnel at hand. He got to have being able to evaluate and pick talent. I heard Brent Berry, they're going to give him a position in the front office and learn under somebody else's wing. So that will kind of indicate they probably going to go with somebody with some experience. But for me, you could have the most experienced person in the front office and he don't know what to do. And I think it's smart for them to think about Chauncey Billups. Smart to think about Bill Laimbeer. I know a lot of people don't like Bill Laimbeer because of the reputation in the NBA. He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But if he can evaluate talent and obviously he can coach, that's somebody I would look at. Not Isaiah Thomas, though. He got too much baggage behind him. But I would look at some of the players at hand. Former players. Chauncey Billups. Even if you want to go ask, Larry Brown, does he want a front office position? And he can help Chauncey Billups. That could be a nice tandem. Him, Larry Brown, Chauncey, and Brent Berry. That's a wonderful trio right there. And they can find a candidate and they can help develop the players and make the everyday decisions that need to be made. As far as the head coach, you got Frank Vogel out there, Jeff Hornacek, you got Mark Jackson, which we talk about a little bit later. You got options. But do you want somebody innovative, like the Celtics went out there and identify and say, okay, Brad Stevenson can coach. We like him. We picked his brain. We want him. Do you want to go that route where he can grow with this team? A young, innovative coach. Or do you want to go with the same old? And I will say Mark Jackson is a young, innovative coach in as far as his experience in the NBA. He didn't really get a fair shake in Golden State. And we'll speak on that again. So I still consider him that young, innovative coach that can grow with a young team. But I think I think the GM position is that position that they have to feel first and feel right. And I think if you get the right people in place, they get the right coach in place and get the right personnel in place. Now, as far as how we'll mold this team, I would try to get rid of all three of those big contracts. Honestly, I would get rid of all three of them if I could. You have to be bad in this NBA if you're not in Miami or on the coast, Boston, LA, or in Houston or Dallas, in Florida where they don't have any state taxes. You have to be in a glamour position to really get those big free agents. And that's what the NBA has created. Nobody wants to go to Phoenix for real. It's not a bad spot. Nobody wants to go to Indiana. Nobody wants to go to Cleveland. Nobody wants to go to, Minnesota. People don't want to go there. Unless there's something already built there and it's something already brewing and it's a good young team and have an opportunity to really, really win. All these kids out here want to be in glamour positions. And that is what it is. But for the Pistons, what people don't understand, you can't build on the fly if you can't draft. The Pistons easily could have had Booker, Giannis, and Mitchell. We were 2 of the 3. They didn't do that. They went Stanley, KCP, Luke Kennard. So you have to understand and have a system in place with your GM, your front office, and your head coach of what these players we want, what's going to be the criteria, how we going to build this team. You have to have a vision. But like I said, personnel-wise, the Pistons going to have to tear this thing down. It's not working. They got to be really, really bad because guess what? People say, well, I don't want to see a really, really bad Detroit Pistons team, and I don't really want to start over. I mean, a commenter said that today. I said, well, you don't have no choice. If you rip it down, acquire draft picks with these players, maybe late first round, wherever it may be, and be really, really bad. That's what Boston had to do. Just start over. Stop trying to build on the fly. If you start over and just admit, all right, we shitty, we bad. Let's get rid of everybody. Let's get some picks and some young assets or some assets, and let's build it from the ground up. And once you get those star athletes and you're able to evaluate and get those stars in Detroit, guess what? Free agents want to come. Oh shit, he got DeAndre Ayton and Zion Williams in back-to-back drafts. Okay, then you might get a diamond in the rough or somewhere. You have to be that. You have to be that team that has to just build the superstars and draft them. And a lot of people don't understand that. It's not the NFL where you can find a hidden diamond in the 3rd and 4th round. It's very, very rare you find a good player in the 2nd round in the NBA draft. A Monte Ellis, a Draymond Green, Isaiah Thomas. It's very, very rare. It's very, very rare that you find somebody outside the lottery now. That the talent level is so watered down now, but it's starting to boost up. It's a great draft this year. It's going to be a great draft next year. So it's time for the Pistons to trade. I think I would trade all the assets I got, acquire some picks, clear some cap space, and I just do it over again. I build this way. But that was a blip what Joe Dumars did with Rip Hamilton, Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace. That was a blip. He didn't expect all those guys to really ring bells and do what they did here. But I'm telling you, you have to be bad. You have to tear it down. Ain't nobody come to the games no way. Ain't nobody watching anyway. People say, I don't like the way Philly did it. But that's what it worked. They got Joel Embiid. They got Ben Simmons. Those 2 superstar players you can build on right there. Give them something, the Detroit some hope. Because the hope that you give them, it ain't no hope. With Drummond and Griffin and Jackson, no. It's not winning ball. Give them some hope. You get rid of those. You start building. You try to get the number 1 pick in the draft. Try to get in the top 5. Get that rookie this year. If you got another pick, trade it for next year. Unless you don't like them you like. And then you can do it again next year. You get two. You hit on 2 picks in a row. They start to build. Then you take those draft picks. You trade for, or I'm just saying hypothetically, you trade for a Rozier type. You trade for a Bobby Portis type. You trade for these NBA veterans that you put around these young rookies and to help them grow together. And then you make your adjustments on the fly with your squad. Because that's the only way to do it in the NBA. Or if you hit on a Donovan Mitchell or Kyle Kuzma late in the draft, you find a diamond in the rough like Rudy Gobert, ABC, Giannis Antetokounmpo. But the Pistons haven't, done that. Hit on those diamonds in the rough. So what you have to do is you have to clean house. Like I told you, did a video yesterday. Blake Griffin to Oklahoma City if Paul George leave. It makes sense. He a hometown kid. If Paul George walked for nothing, they need somebody to fill that void and sell tickets and help Russell Westbrook. You take Andre Drummond. You look at the Celtics. They need an Andre Drummond. They got assets. They got a Gordon Hayward. You might not like it, but You might want to do a Gordon Hayward, and you just take it. He an alright player. He just signed a deal. See if he's healthy before you pull the trigger. Or you send him to another place that might need a center. Like, okay, this player, this team, the Hawks need a center. I like the Tyrion guy, the little forward they got over there. You give me him, you give me Bazemore, something like that. Or you look at Dallas, or you look at these certain teams, the Clippers. You look somewhere. You look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. They might lead that. You look and you try to gain mid-level talent that potentially you can groom and you can blossom. You can help grow. The Pistons gonna have to be very, very innovative. And I'm trying to tell you, if they get a general manager that know what he's doing, that's cool. But if you get somebody that's inexperienced, that don't have experience, but can evaluate talent, and they got a plan, you can stick a Brent Berry behind them. You can stick a Larry Brown with them and help them grow. Or you can stick certain players or certain people in the front office position that has that experience to help them grow and help them make the daily basketball decisions. And they all can come together and get the right head coach and tell them, look, we ain't going to be that good for a couple years. We're not going to hold that against you. We just want you to develop young talent. Because one major mistake the Pistons have made is sitting rookies in the deep freezer and not letting them play from Tayshaun Prince to Chris Middleton to Aaron Aflalo to Darko Milicic. All those guys sat on the bench. And now is the time to let the Luke Kennards play, to let these young guys play and develop on the floor. You ain't going to be nothing. Do away with that rookie got to earn their spot. Let them guys go out there and play and be great. But that's just my thoughts on that. I want to hear y'all thoughts on what the Pistons should do. I appreciate all the love and support.